Hello, thank you for stopping by. Today I'm going to try to do a hike. Now, the hike is going to be at the Rotary Club of Casper, and this is at the Casper Mountains. So, at the same time I'm doing this, I'm going to try to walk and talk at the same time, but I haven't been on this trail for a while. Usually we've been doing it every day, but at this time probably took way too long time off, so it's not gonna sound very good. But this is gonna be one of three other videos. So what I believe is that every time I've done this, there's three ways to do it, and there's the one that you start right here, and then you'll mosey up here, you'll cruise, come across, come down back here, go all the way back down, come back up. That's the one that we've been doing most of the time. So like I said, I believe there's three trails to this, even though there's multiple ways to go. You could probably do it backwards too. Is that you'll start right here, do the trail I'm going to do today. There's the other trail, which is behind me. You'll go up that way. You'll come back and you'll loop around here, come all the way up here, and go all the way down here. That'll be the second loop I'm going to do later. The third loop, which will be the bigger loop. So you'll start from here, come all the way down here, go all the way up here, come up here. I knew probably one day come all the way up here, then show the split rock, and probably do the whole loop again. But usually when we do it, we cut up here, come all the way down, go to split rock, and come back all the way down. And I'll say that would be three different trails here. You can also do in a reverse. When you do get to this part, you do go to some residential areas, and then you walk through really thin trails. And I don't want to say that is another way to do it, but we can see how today goes and see how we feel about the other days. And like I said, doing this early. Today is July 5th. Was going to do it yesterday, but when I came here early, there was a lot of people here. It's 5:30 right now. And I believe that if you do want to come here and do it, especially if it's your first time, probably to come early. It is a little bit chilly, and you might want to bring a jacket. But as you get going, the way I'm going, how would you say? It is, I don't want to say steep in a way, but it is like doing stairs where you will start breathing hard. Like I said, I do have a mic right now, and you might hear me breathing really heavily. And if you want to comment on that, you can. But we'll see this in a bit when we come back around the beautiful waterfall, the little bridge. So, and let me see. Doesn't really catch how steep it is. Well, yeah, and if you are going to be here, and I know that I'm probably the first one to walk on this trail today, because there is a lot of spider webs, and you can feel it. Spider webs, or I don't know if they're silkworms, because if I come across it, I'll show you. But there's a bunch of worms that are building their nests in the bushes, and it could be that one too. And the thing I like about this trail is that it is well maintained. Well maintained from my knowledge, because a lot of places that I have gone hiking, a lot of places are roughed up. Even the trails that you do walk in, like places like this, they have nice benches and not torn up by graffiti. And if you are in areas where you do see people graffitiing, I know it's a lot of people want to just turn the other way and be like, oh, it's none of my problem. Just say, cut it out. I know that you might get a bunch of talk back from it, but at least you tried. So, like I said, I'm gonna try to talk this whole time, but I'm already feeling it. And I should have recorded this while I was in the route of doing it, so I wouldn't sound like I'm getting choked to death. But best thing to do things is when you're not ready. So here's a little lookout from where I was just at a while ago. I was down there. You see a beautiful waterfall. And I guess it's a good time because I'll see if I can get over there before the sun comes up. But like I said, it's just a lookout. It doesn't lead anywhere. You gotta come back down. And like I said, it is well maintained from other trails I've been on. Oh, recommend. That just came to my mind. If you're gonna come in here, probably some hiking shoes or boots. There's some areas where, depending on what trail you go on, I'll probably show if it comes up, where there is bushes, loose rocks. So, and since this is a smaller trail, I didn't carry water. I did hydrate all yesterday and the day before. And yeah, best to hydrate. Bring snacks if you have any. And probably questions like, have I ever seen any snakes or bears? I haven't heard anything on bears or mountain lions or anything like that. I haven't been here that long to hear about it. But usually people will say, hey, you know, well, other trails, not this one, but people are really friendly here too, so they'll talk to you when they walk by. And usually they'll say the same thing, like, oh shoot, you know, I'm tired, or should have gone the other way. But from what I'm told is that when you show up and you take the left way, it's harder because it's more gradually going up. Not gradually, you go up. Other places gradually if you go right. And you can tell by listening to me, I'm not really versed on terminology about how to talk about trails. I'm wearing short pants, a regular shirt, and a ball cap. That's what worked for me. I usually wear a bag to keep my stuff in, like vehicle keys or what else? Headphones. I've seen people carry around like pocket knives and stuff. I don't know about that. I know some people carry around big knives to feel safe from animals in the area, but I feel like my choice in my mind is like animal chooses to attack me while I'm out here. Maybe, I don't know, it's probably me not thinking right, but probably being stupid when I fight them hand to hand. But what do you think? If you've gotten this far in the video and you haven't shut it off, what do you think? Is it wise to bring knives, probably like pepper spray and stuff on your hike? And like I said, I haven't been here that long, but I've been on this trail multiple times. Doesn't sound like it, but I haven't encountered anybody to be crazy to try to hurt me or induct me into their camp or their cult or hired me sign petitions up here. Maybe it's just my sign of ignorance, but probably look up their laws of items you can carry. Like I said, I've seen some people have pepper spray on their bags and knives, walking sticks. For me, in my experience, walking sticks have always gotten my way. It's always been a burden for me. Whew. So right now, I want to say that's the part that is the hardest of this small trail. I know it doesn't sound like I'm making it. Woo! Hey, everybody has to start somewhere. I started this a long time ago, but I should have kept going. Remember, consistency is key. If you're gonna start something, keep doing it. Don't make excuses. I make a lot of excuses. A lot of personal things come up in your life, and you want to blame that on your actions on other people. But sometimes, even if you fight hard, going upstream, going against the current, it will just tire you and still pull you down. I'm not saying to let things happen without trying to change it, you know. Some people will say go with the flow, and I like to say, you know, make your own stream from the lake or the river you're in, so you don't go with that flow. But life is one of those hard things, unpredictable things that will keep beating you to the ground. And sometimes it's not bad just to be like, let me just take a break for now, relax. I don't have to keep on going and pushing. I can take a nap. I'm not saying give up. We all face our trials and tribulations in life way different. But I feel like the best way to handle it is not to keep it in. It is to talk about it. I know you guys are probably, if you made it this far too, you're probably like, oh, he's just rambling. And yes, I am rambling. This is a nice bench. Nice bench. Like I said, it's well maintained. But this is rambling from a person who thinks I have life experience, but I'm still learning every day. No matter your age, you're always able to learn and keep on learning. So I'm going to stop for my tuck-in right now. We're at current elevation 6,660. There you go. And we are right there where it says Rotary Bridge Trail. There's several directions you can go. I don't like going this way, which is to the right when you get here. And It's one thing is because it gets really watery from the waterfall, and if you don't mind getting your shoes wet, I like to take the left, and you go up a little trail over here. It leads up there, but it's a lot easier. You'll see. I'll probably make multiple videos on this. I don't know how to title them because I don't want to keep saying like, oh, go left, go right, go up, go down. So, another thing about my videos, if you watch any of them besides this one, I don't do cuts. I don't like doing cuts because I don't like feeling like you're missing content. And I know this is a hike through a trail. You're probably not going to miss any content because it probably all looks the same, but it's all very beautiful. Another thing is I don't have any fancy program to edit, so another ramble too. You ever watch YouTube and you're watching someone talk and it seems like they're talking and talking, but for some reason it just keeps on like they're glitching out? It's like, I understand you have content to be made, and a lot of people go off scripts when they do their content, but I like natural, like podcast kind of talking where you can see those mistakes because it feels more human, more human interaction than just watching someone that's cut up and all glitchy all the time. So I want to say at this point right here, we're in the middle. We're just down there if you see the tables. Very beautiful place. Like I said, this is a smaller loop. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. But things on my mind. Let me see. Things on my mind. Well, like I said, a lot of people like to look way forward in the future. There's no reason not to make plans for the future, but don't plan so far ahead where you get lost and you lose what you're actually doing because you want to get to that goal. We all fail, we all fall, and people who tell you differently are lying to themselves. It's okay to fail because that's how you learn. It's okay to make mistakes because that's how you grow. I know people want to be perfect. I know those words are getting pushed around of being the alpha male, the leader, the all go-to warrior. But the people they copy have failed. The people that they try to say that, oh yeah, I make this much or I've done this. I'm talking about the true people who have gotten to the elite status of being successful, have always failed and have always seen some kind of failure or some kind of, no, you're not wanted, or no, you're not the right candidate, or you're not enough. And sometimes if you keep trying, keep pushing to do it, and you just keep getting blocked, sometimes maybe that's not the right thing to do. Maybe it's a way of something telling you, the universe, if you believe in God, maybe it's God telling you, or if you are traditional in any way of anything, maybe it's the universe saying, hey, take a step back, breathe, don't rush into it so far. Because sometimes you rush into a situation, you either get hurt or worse. It's not good to do that. I know I suffer from that. Sometimes you just want to be the best at everything, and sometimes you got to say, I'm not, because there will always be someone better. There's always be someone stronger than you, someone faster than you, someone smarter than you. And I'm gonna cut off real fast because I want you to hear the water. It's the waterfall right here, or the water that comes out of the waterfall. Comes right here. When you get right here, there's two ways. They all go to that side, but I prefer, if you come this way, to follow along the fence, because you can walk on the rocks. And when you walk on the rocks, make sure that you are stable and you are not standing on any wobbly walks. Wobble, dang it, wobbly. Any rocks that would move. You don't want to step on that. And on top of that, there's, you don't want to sprain your ankle. And especially when you do stuff like this, make sure you tell somebody where you're going. There's a lot of times people go hiking all willy-nilly, and they're like, oh, it's going to be a fast hike. Oh, yeah. Well, if you go the other way, I said, it's all water. Those logs move, and more likely you get your shoes wet. And then again, like I was saying, always tell people where you're going. There's a lot of things on the news where people will be, oh, it's just a fast hike. I'm only going to be gone for a couple hours. And either they go missing and they're never found, or they go missing and they don't know where their way back. So if you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to go so-and-so someplace, even if it's a fast text message on Facebook, Instagram, whatever social platform, or if you're leaving the house, leave a note or plan ahead, be like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to go so place. It should take this long. Okay. Nice, beautiful sun. Beautiful. Oh gosh, I forgot. Well, hopefully it counts my steps. Forgot to start my Garmin on the hike mode. I thought I had everything ready to go. I guess I didn't. Okay. So remember that part I was telling you about, where there's two ways to go, and then we went up that way. That's the other way that goes down. You zigzag, you come right there. There's a little water path, and then you climb up a really steep area on this side. I'll probably show that later, not today. But there's multiple ways to get around this mountain. But remember, always stay on the trail. Be respectful. And this is where we go downhill. So this elevation is 6,610. So we're a little bit below the other one, which was 6,660. 50 below. We're currently right there. And when you get to this area, there's two ways to go up, which is not today, because when you take the bigger loop, you do come down that way, and you want to start coming down this way, or you want to go down this way. What was I talking about? respectful of where you're going. Tell people where you're going. I'm sorry. Let people know where you're going. You don't want tenant missing. And I know sometimes a lot of things that you do can be spur of the moment and be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna uppity up and just do it without telling anybody. But it's better safe than sorry. Like I said, tell somebody. And if you don't trust anybody, post it on Facebook. If you, I know I was talking about Facebook and stuff, but that's the one I mostly use. Post it on your story or something. So if you do go missing, I'm not gonna say if you are, but if something happens, there'll be a trail, or there'll be, something that says you went somewhere. Let me see. What am I up to? Well, what I'm currently up to is I'm training, or I should be training, for the 100-mile marathon in Colorado. I'm going to butcher the name. It's called Sangre de Cristo. It's going to be my first long run. Other places, the longest I ever done without stopping is 31 miles, and that was a training one. I have done a ultra marathon, which was 28 miles. It was called a 28 ultra heavy marathon. This was in South Park, Colorado. And I want to honestly say I didn't train for that one. My brother told me that he wanted to do it, and I was thinking to myself, because there's some days you'll be walking and you're like, oh, this is a fire water line. See, fire water line. If you see me waddling back and forth, that's because the trail goes right by it. Unknown what it's for. I know it says fire water line. They probably use it for fires in that place. But yeah, and there's some places on this trail you'll notice probably tomorrow that there's more areas that will say no trespassing. Private property or government property. But yeah, the 28-mile ultra heavy marathon, and for me, some days you can just walk or jog or run, and you're like, oh yeah, it's just 28 miles. And from what I read on comments, and you try to look on YouTube and you're like, oh, this person ran this race, or this person has this thing to say about this race. And I was completely lied to, because it's at 12,000 feet. And where I was currently at before I did this race was not at 12,000 feet. It was, I believe, at 2,000 feet elevation. So when we got there, I drove there. We got a hotel that someone was going down, and we got there, someone was going down, and my brother was like, oh, we should acclimate it to the elevation. And I know what whole elevation, how it affects you, but we didn't have the luxury to get there. And I want to say, give or take, some people like, oh, you got to be there a week or 2 weeks before to acclimate to the elevation. But like I said, we didn't have the luxury, so I drove there before the day before, got there. And one thing you probably notice is that I'm not the fittest dude. My brother is. Who else came with us? Chelsea, Lily, and Alexa. And before we started getting into running, all I ever knew was like, hey, make sure you eat, make sure you have lots of water, and that's how we based our training off in the beginning. It was like, just eat, and it wasn't like healthy foods or what you would say. It's like, it was all fast food. I'm not gonna lie, fast food, some water, sodas and stuff. But that's all changed now. But at the time, it wasn't. Running shoes. No, that's a story for a different video. But a lot of things we weren't ready for it. I wasn't ready. I don't want to speak for my brother, but I want to say he wasn't. He could have done a lot better. But for that race, oh my gosh, there were so many rolling hills, and I don't probably use that term wrong, but just when you're going, the hills go like this. They're not moving on their own. As you approach them, they go up and down because you're running up and down. But yeah, it wasn't a fun time because I took off way too fast in the beginning. Like I was running a 100 meter sprint. And that's how fast I kept it up. Not that speed, but I kept up the running probably like a good 5 miles. And that's when, because as you start, you're starting the lowest part of where you're at. It was in the I don't want to say abandoned town, but there's some areas that they have little shops in South Park. But as you start, you're at the lowest part, and it's all uphill from there until you get to the turnaround point. I want to say, give or take, 13.7, almost 14 miles is where you turn around. And as you're heading back, or as you get to the turnaround point, that's the highest elevation, and I might be wrong, so don't get mad at me. About 13.5 thousand feet elevation, and as for running, that is really high for me. I know there's other people that probably get to that elevation and it's a walk in the park, but it's like sucking in jello as you try to breathe. It's not a good day. It's not a good time. And as someone that did it at 320 pounds, and as I got to the turnaround point, I was so full of life because I was like, oh, it's all downhill from now. And as soon as I took off, because it was snowing at the top, as soon as I took off downhill, I sprained one ankle, and that started hurting. So I was like, oh, it's just one ankle. One tire is down. I can still ride on a rim and take off. As I get down from the little mountain, which probably was a mile down, I end up spraining my other ankle. So I'm about 14 miles or 14.5 miles, and I still have a lot more to go because it's a 28-mile race. And as I get down, my ankles start swelling up. And I know some people are like, well, you should have stopped, because it's not good. You can prevent injuries. And that's probably why my ankles hurt all the time. But I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to stop. And I think that was one of my bad traits, is once I start something, I don't want to stop until I hit the finish line, or you hear that little whistle to tell you to stop. So we're almost done with this trail. We're at the number 12. We're at 6,370, and that's what we're currently at. There's many ways down. There's this way. I want to say this is the steepest way, but it does go straight back to the vehicle. And there's this way, which is to the waterfall. I like taking this way because it does even out. I'll show the other ways. When you do get to this part, you gotta watch out, because there's other people that do grow up running, and they're like running. They're like running from something, but it's what they mostly do all the time. And just good to scoot out of the way, which is safe. When it's safe, is for you to move. And if it can't, just try to squeeze. As long as you make an effort and not just stand there like you're a doorknob. So, but some people around here like to be a big old flat pancake and not move at all. But yeah, we're almost done. And I'll tell you the time when we get done. Like I said, there's other places here, but don't. This is no climbing. Be respectful. There's another way down this way. I've been down this way. The wood, the planks, they're slippery. So if you choose to come this way, just watch your footing. And on top of that, all my shoes are all freaking bald. They're all slick. But like I said, like I was saying, have a big race coming up. And like with anything, there's doubt, especially for it being that long. And I have 36 hours to complete it. And scared, nervous, anxious. I feel like I might be ready, might not be ready. I guess that's all good. If you think you're ready for everything, what's the fun for it? I'm not saying don't train. That's not the smart thing to do. But I feel like the greatest thing about a lot of things is knowing that you might fail. That's what makes it worth it. Just like our favorite sports team. If they're always winning, I know you want to be like, oh yeah, go. But when you watch a movie, it's not about, oh yeah, this team's going to win. This team's going to do it. It's about the chance they might not win. The chance that they might lose. That makes it more interesting. So, if you're watching this and you got this far, I know it's 38 minutes in, but wish me luck. Probably talk about these about the other videos, but wish me luck. I don't need it. So, we're at the waterfall. So like I said, we're almost done. It's a downhill from here back to the vehicle. But any ideas, any place that you think we should go? I know I uploaded a cave video or two, one in Flagstaff and one here. But if you have any ideas, and I know you can always go on Google and type in like local areas, but like for the cave, when I typed in the cave, there was like only one person that been there on Google for the review and one YouTube video, and that guy had a lot of guts going in by himself. But stuff like that, something that you've been probably like this other guy. He commented on the video that I did about a short video. It wasn't educational or informative, but it was about Starship Troopers. And he says, hey, I haven't been there in a long time. I might go there later. So I guess if I can record an area that you probably haven't been in a long time. I know I'm currently in Casper, Wyoming right now. And there's other places. There was a Washington monument that we went to, but Got there just before they closed because it said closed at 11. And, there's I think it's called the Crystal Caves that in that area too. Might want to go there. I like caves. I'm a big fan of rocks. I like collecting rocks. There's a Yellowstone National Park. I want to see if I can record there too. But if you like my content, if you have gotten this far, I appreciate it. I'm not making any money, no sponsors or anything, but if you like this, leave comments. I'll probably try to make merch. I did make some stickers of a Master Chief wearing a chief headdress. There's a long story behind that, but I'll probably try to start a little sale. I do have a Patreon, GoFundMe, and all that other stuff to try to fund my runs for equipment and stuff. Not for anything personal, for dumb reasons, mostly for health reasons. But like I said, if you want to donate, all links to all my stuff there. Probably set up merch later. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful, nice, and amazing day. And thank you for watching. This is the first loop for the Casper, Wyoming Rotary Trail.